is inclusive,
green,
innovative,
just,
global,
diverse.
Sweden in 2030 leaves no one behind. Ladies and gentlemen, these are challenging times. The global pandemic has forced us to rethink and adapt the way we live our lives. For many, the pandemic has had far-reaching impacts, such as global unemployment has increased and many families have seen their incomes drop. School closures have had damaging impact on many children, particularly those already in a vulnerable situation. Poverty, inequality, and gender-based violence have increased. And for older people, migrants, and minorities, including LGBTIQ people, the situation has been particularly difficult. But we need to look ahead. We need to plan for a fair and sustainable recovery, and we must leave no one behind. And the 2030 agenda is our roadmap. The Swedish welfare model has been a crucial asset in times of crisis. Overall, we enjoy high living standards, universal access to education, and relatively high gender equality. Good governance and strong institutions are the backbone of our democracy. But of course, we also have challenges. We need to address rising inequalities, the transition to sustainable consumption and production, and to circular economy. This is our second voluntary national review, and since our first review in 2017, we have taken many initiatives to strengthen the implementation of the 2030 agenda. Sweden has come a long way, but we still have a long way to go, and all actors need to be included.
Greetings from Uppsala. We are one of 4 cities presenting a voluntary local review for the first time. Uppsala has received several awards for our work on sustainability and has been named Sweden's climate city several times. Democratic participation is a cornerstone of our governance model. By actively including minority groups, local communities, young and older citizens, we shape policies for the people, by the people. Leaving no one behind requires us to localize the SDGs.
For Sweden, leaving no one behind is grounded in human rights, gender equality, and intersectionality. We need to recognize that poverty is multi-dimensional. This is the only way of reaching those who are marginalized. But more action is needed to reach groups that are sometimes forgotten, such as us, people with disabilities. Let's be clear, human rights include civil and political rights. Civil society organizations are partners in decision-making, and we are pushing for a higher level of ambition in the implementation of the 2030 agenda.
Every day, the youth movement works to expand the democratic space. We mobilize, we organize to influence the policies that affect our lives. Dialogues between the government and young people show that our main concerns are the environment and climate, gender equality, and action to end oppression and discrimination. Our message on the climate crisis is clear. Leaders need to act for a green transition towards carbon neutrality.
In our journey towards carbon neutrality, the Swedish business community is leading the way. Many companies are integrating the SDGs into their business models. we are unleashing the innovative power of the business sector to enable social change. The private sector also plays a crucial role in mobilizing resources to finance the SDGs. In this VNR, Sweden shares some success stories related to the financing for development agenda, such as green loans and bonds.
Sweden has a long history of constructive relations between employers and workers. Known as the Swedish model, social dialogue and collective bargaining contribute to decent work and inclusive growth. But we have also seen how labor migrants, young people, asylum seekers, and people with disabilities face greater vulnerability in the labor market, both in Sweden and globally. Our innovation and competitiveness depend on our ability to build inclusive and diverse working environments, where no one is left behind.
Swedish universities and research foundations contribute cutting-edge research and education on sustainable development. This forms the knowledge and skills base needed for a sustainable society and is fundamental to our capacity to identify connections and synergies between the SDGs. We need robust scientific knowledge, but we also need more collaboration between different academic disciplines and between research, policy, and society. Partnerships are the future, from the local to the global.
Last year, the Swedish Parliament passed a government bill with a clear objective. We will achieve economically, socially, and environmentally sustainable development through a coherent policy nationally and internationally. The perspectives of children and young people are a priority. We believe that partnerships are key to the achievement of the SDGs, both at national, EU and global level. Our priorities are clear. We are a progressive force for climate neutrality, and we aim to become the first fossil-free welfare state by 2045 at the latest. We promote a green transition through international partnerships and ambitious climate development aid. We promote democracy and gender equality around the world through our feminist foreign policy and the drive for democracy. We work tirelessly for better social inclusion and equality through initiatives such as the Global Deal Partnership for Social Dialogue, Decent Work and Inclusive Growth. We remain committed to allocating 1% of our GNI to development assistance. The time to act is now. This is the decade of delivery. We believe that together we can build stronger, more resilient societies that will be equipped to respond to challenges well beyond 2030.